In today's world, our mental well-being is directly connected to the quality of our relationships. But what do you do when someone repeatedly disrespects you or violates your boundaries? Wrong reactions in those moments, without us realizing it, can actually serve the very people who disrespect us. They can reinforce the dynamic they are trying to create. In this video-style message, a deep psychological lesson is introduced that claims it can completely transform your relationships with narcissistic personalities. It suggests that after understanding it, you will learn a powerful sentence that supposedly prevents people from ever disrespecting you again. Everyday experience of disrespect. You may have experienced this before. Someone belittles you, interrupts you, ignores your voice, or invalidates your feelings. At that moment, most people either explode in anger or withdraw into silence. However, the claim is that both reactions actually feed the same unhealthy dynamic, especially with people described as having narcissistic traits, because both create emotional engagement and reinforce conflict. Reference to Jung as interpreted in the text. The script attributes ideas to Carl Jung, suggesting that everything we find disturbing in others can help us understand ourselves better. People who display narcissistic behaviors are seen as deeply insecure individuals with internal wounds. They project their unresolved inner conflicts onto others. However, it is important to note these interpretations are loosely inspired by Jungian ideas, but they are not direct or clinical Jungian psychology as understood in modern psychology. Core claim about narcissistic behavior. The text argues that people labeled as narcissistic are not necessarily trying to destroy you, but trying to control you, seeking validation and emotional regulation through others, testing whether you will accept their power dynamics. It claims they maintain a sense of identity through emotional reactions from others, whether positive or negative. The key idea, emotional non-engagement, the central psychological strategy presented. If you emotionally react, you reinforce the dynamic they want. Instead, the script suggests that the breakthrough comes from refusing to participate in emotional conflict. The powerful sentence. The phrase presented as the solution: if, from this point forward, I will not engage in conversations like this with you. Why it is claimed to work. The text explains 3 supposed effects. Clear boundary setting. You are not arguing or explaining, you are declaring a limit. Cutting emotional reinforcement. If the person thrives on emotional reactions, you stop supplying them. Psychological independence. You assert control over your emotional space. Important caveat in the script. It emphasizes that the effectiveness is not only in the words, but in the emotional state behind them. If the sentence is said with fear, anger, or insecurity, it loses its impact. It must come from a place of internal certainty and calm boundary setting. Predicted reaction is described. The text claims that a person who behaves manipulatively may initially escalate behavior, accuse you of being cold or unfair, attempt guilt-tripping or provocation. If boundaries remain firm, the dynamic may change or end completely. The script frames both outcomes as positive for personal well-being. Deeper psychological message. Beyond dealing with others, the message shifts inward. You stop tolerating disrespectful interactions. You stop justifying your boundaries. You stop trying to prove your value to others. It suggests that real psychological freedom comes from becoming someone who no longer participates in harmful relational patterns. Final claim. The text concludes with a philosophical idea attributed to you. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. It argues that many toxic relationship patterns continue because they are unconscious habits. The final message is, you cannot control others, but you can choose not to participate in unhealthy dynamics. And that choice changes your relationships naturally over time. Important reality check, brief but important. While the message contains useful ideas about boundaries and emotional regulation, oversimplifies narcissism as a general label for difficult behavior, misrepresents Jung's psychology in places, implies a magic sentence can reliably change all relationships, which is not psychologically realistic. In real life, healthy boundary setting is less about a single phrase and more about consistency, safety, clear consequences, and sometimes physical or emotional distance when needed.